Oh, what's up, my YouTube fam and new viewers? My name is Raheem Moyang. Today, we're downtown Toronto. We're doing something a little bit different. We're gonna go document and observe an Indigenous led protest where people are speaking up for their rights and justice. Yeah.
Seeing the energy and determination of Indigenous activists in Toronto is a powerful reminder of the importance of community.
So now we're gonna go talk to them and see what this protest is about. We're gonna see and get more details.
And we are here at Native Child and Family Services in Toronto. And these people are essentially kidnappers. They are the Native Children's CAS, and they received their mandate to kidnap children in 2004. They've been kidnapping for 21 years. This place is a $50 million a year agency that has 38 employees on the Sunshine List this morning. And this morning, as we're speaking, in Ontario, 49% of the children that are in care are Indigenous. And that's awful. I'll tell you a story. Down in the States, we have an Apache girl, 15 years old. Her name is Emily Pike. And she was dismembered. They found her body dismembered 1 week ago today. And she was in a group home where she was supposed to be protected. They didn't report her missing. They found out that there are 30 other children missing from this group home. What is happening to our children while they are in care? It's awful. So this morning, we are burning this fire. And this fire represents our connection to the Creator. And we need the Creator and the ancestors to know that we are here for the children. And they know by this part, if you look at the fire burning the way it is, the ancestors are here with us, and they know. And they know that we're here to stay until we burn out all this wood. My daughter was kidnapped by these people. 5 years ago, my daughter was kidnapped. And these people tried to trespass me the other day when I'm on my own land.
So what's happening now?
So they're delivering our wood now. They got a delivery of wood.
This wood is being delivered for a fire that will burn for 24 hours, serving as a powerful cultural symbol of renewal and a deep connection to ancestors and nature in the Indigenous traditions.
All right, today I'm gonna speak with Cheryl.
Hi.
She's
Hi,
gonna-
everyone. We're here with a fire at Native Child and Family Services. I had a son that was in their system, who's still in their system. He was, when it was cold, they kicked him out of the transitional house. And when they kicked him out, it was very cold, and he came to Allen Gardens to Morning Star's fire. And I come and picked him up. If he didn't have a mom, he would be homeless and be on the streets doing drugs or drinking or whatever. I asked the worker to help him, and she pretty well said it's my job. This place needs the children to understand why this fire is burning. It's not to scare the children, it's a sacred fire. And our children, young children, should know about these fires. And the workers in there make them afraid of our culture. My son was shot. The policeman shot him 2 times. And they looked at me like she's native. They thought my son was just black. He's part Jamaican. I married a Jamaican.
Oh, you married a Jamaican?
Yeah, so my son is part Jamaican.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
I'm Jamaican too.
Are you?
Yeah.
When I get mad, I can speak that little pepsi or whatever.
You can speak a little
Yeah, I get mad though. I have to be mad.
Oh, nice.
I was in care too. I was in the 70s, 60s booth. They took me away as a child. That was, for me, I remember those moments. They had a hard time catching me, like the RCMP were trying to catch me for 3 days. They couldn't catch me. I was just a little kid running away.
Yeah.
And I hid in a beaver dam. That's why they couldn't catch me. But they did catch me, and then they put me in care.
What was it like in care?
It was terrible. It was like, You had no culture, you had no family, you had to adjust to their rules and change your life. Basically, you weren't allowed to speak. Like my left hand, I'm left-handed. I wasn't allowed to use my left hand, but I still did. I'm still left-handed. I was stubborn too, right? But the system like I was part of the system, but the system never took my spirit. I always held on to my spirit, and that's what I try to tell the children, that are in care, or the mothers who lost their children, that the children will always come back to their mother. They will always come back. And we as mothers gotta start healing our hearts and our spirits, so when they come, we're strong enough for them, because they ain't coming with nice, coming real nice to, oh, hi, mom. No, they are very angry children, they're going to come with anger. And I don't blame them, and we need to let them express their anger. If they get, my kids were in care, that's why I can say that. Like, they still have anger towards me for that. Myself, I don't have a mom, so I can't go to my mom and say, hey, this is how I felt. But I healed, and I did a lot of healing over the years for my children today. If they're mad at me, like a few days ago, they said, one son said, you're dead to me. I don't take that to heart. I just know that they're going through a hard time, and so I can't hold grudges. I love them still.
The fire and police were called. When they arrived on scene, they quickly recognized the significance of what they were witnessing. Before them was a sacred fire, a cherished tradition that Indigenous people have honored for generations. This powerful symbol of culture and spirituality is considered untouchable, deserving of deep respect and protection.
So the fire truck was called, but it cannot be put out because it's a sacred fire. That was so fascinating and interesting. If you like that video, hit that subscribe button to be a part of my YouTube family, and hit that like and share button so more people can see this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.